Hi Pantry Purgers! Welcome to Mom's Vegan Kitchen Lessons. Today we're going to be making some veggie hummus. So I'm going to use two medium carrots. This one was a little bit smaller, but that's okay. And I'm going to thinly slice the carrots. So now we're going to chop up a shallot. We need about 2 tablespoons of chopped shallot. When you buy a shallot, it usually has multiple, I don't know if you would call these cloves, like a garlic clove. But you see this one has 2. Actually, sometimes this bigger side actually has more divisions. So we're going to go ahead and chop this up, and we're just going to estimate 2 tablespoons. We don't need to be exact. It's like chopping an onion, but really tiny. So we're going to approximate 2 tablespoons. That's probably about 2 tablespoons. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably about 2 tablespoons. So that's probably a good amount of shallot. And you can just roughly chop it because we're cooking it and putting it into the blender. Oh, that's a strong, oh my God, my eyes. And we're going to do 1 clove of garlic. And just like anytime you use garlic, 2 things to consider. One is, do you like garlic? It's to taste. So even though a recipe might call for a certain amount of garlic, you want to do it to the amount of garlic that you like. And the other thing to consider when you're doing garlic is how big are your cloves. So some cloves are huge and some are small. And this one's kind of a medium-sized clove. So it calls for 1 clove. So I'm going to just go ahead and chop the 1 up. And that should be good. If you want it really garlicky, then just make more than that. All my kitchen scraps go to the compost so they can get used in my garden. No waste. The only thing you can't put in compost is citrus. That messes it up. And again, I'm going to just roughly chop this because we're cooking it, and then we're putting it into our blender with our chickpeas to make our veggie hummus. Okay, that's good. So our garlic and our shallot is going to go into our pan. So in my pan, I have the carrots, the shallots, and the garlic, and I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water. And I'm going to bring it up to a simmer. Right now I have it on medium to get it going, but once it gets simmering, I'm going to turn it down to medium-low, and I'm going to cover it and simmer it for about 10 minutes until the carrots are tender. So while the carrots, garlic, and shallots are cooking, we're going to get some other ingredients that we need. We're going to need a 15-ounce can of chickpeas. You can use any kind you like. I'm using the Whole Foods organic garbanzo beans. Whenever you're using canned chickpeas for hummus, you want to save the liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and drain off the liquid into this measuring cup so that when I need liquid to put into my blender, I'm going to use the aquafaba from the can. The liquid that's in a can of chickpeas is called aquafaba, and it has a lot of really great uses. So I'm just going to pour the liquid off. We don't need that much, but let's see how much we can get. The other thing that personally that I do when I empty a can of chickpeas like this is that I go through and find little oddballs that don't look so good, or any skin that has come off of the beans. So the chickpeas will all have this outer coating of skin that comes off when you boil it. This is the outer coating of skin. And when you have canned chickpeas, oftentimes you'll just find, skin like this just in the can with the chickpeas. So I always just remove those extra skin. Okay, so that looks good. So we're going to be using this whole can of beans. I'm going to keep it on this bowl to just continue draining. The other thing we need for this recipe is we need 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm going to use fresh lemon juice. Cut my lemon in half. This is my little measuring cup where I can see when I get to 3 tablespoons. I'm going to get my lemon juicer. And you cut your lemon depending on what kind of juicer you're using, however you need to cut it. This juicer, I've showed you this before in other recipes, but some people who have a juicer like this want to put it like this because they think that that would be the most sensible way, but that's not the way this works, even though it seems like it might be counterintuitive. The lemon or lime goes in like this. Actually, I'm going to take this little end knob off just so it can push better. There we go. Okay. So it goes in like this. Oops. And then you just squeeze down. Oh, that's our 10 minutes on our carrots. So I'm just going to squeeze this directly into my measuring cup so I can see how much juice I get out of this lemon, so I can get it up to about 3 tablespoons. Okay. That was only a little bit more than 1 tablespoon. All right, we're going to have to do the other half. And again, I'm going to cut off this little end knobby thing. Okay, put it in my juicer and squeeze up to 3 tablespoons. It's approximate, just like everything else we're doing with the hummus and every other recipe I do. Unless you're baking something, you don't really need to measure things, just throw things in. Okay, this lemon made exactly 3 tablespoons. That was lucky. So now we're ready to move over to the blender and put our hummus together. Our carrots, garlic, and shallots have been simmering for 10 minutes on low heat, on low simmer. I've got the blender all set up, and I'm going to go ahead and put the carrots, onions, and shallots right into the blender. Putting in our chickpeas. We're going to put our 3 tablespoons of lemon juice in there. And we're going to blend it up. And as we go, we're going to slowly, if we need it, add our aquafaba to help it smooth out and puree properly. So first we're going to start it on a lower speed and work our way up. So clearly it's not blending well, so I'm going to have to add the liquid in, which is what we knew was going to happen. We knew we were going to need to add liquid in, but we're going to do it a little bit at a time because we don't want it to get too liquidy. So I'm going to go ahead and put the blender on. All right, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir to help it along in the blender. And we will add another little bit of the aquafaba and see how it goes. So the hummus is nice and smooth, nicely blended, and we're just going to transfer it to a container. Now, if you're gonna serve this, if you want it to look nice, just put it in a nice container. I'm going to be saving it for when we put it on our sandwiches or we use it to dip things in the fridge. So I'm going to be putting it in a Tupperware that I can cover with a lid. And I know that we are trying to get more towards glass containers, but I believe in using what we have. I'm a minimalist and I'm not going to buy things if I have things I can use. I'm going to use these plastic containers until they can't be used anymore, until they're all worn out, because I don't want to add more things to waste. This is the time you're going to want to taste it to see if it needs salt or pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. That's really good. It doesn't need anything. When we use this on sandwiches, we might add, some pepper or some everything seasoning at that point in time, but this hummus is delicious. It doesn't need anything. So it's super easy. I hope you give it a try. It tastes really, really good, and it's great when you make a veggie sandwich on some hearty bread. Tonight for dinner, we're having a nice spring sandwich. I've been working in the garden all day, so I thought it would be nice to have this nice spring sandwich. I just whipped up some homemade veggie hummus, so I'm going to put that on my sandwich, and I'm going to sprinkle it with some pumpkin seeds. You can do it with sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, whatever you like. A slice of tomato and some cucumbers, and then I'm going to have some fresh ground pepper on there. Bread and butter pickles, the sweet pickles. We'll put some greens on. Just a variety of greens. And that's it. That's a beautiful little spring sandwich. The bread happens to be little because it's the end of the loaf of bread. So there you have it. Let's cut it in half and see what it looks like. Oops. That looks delicious. Can't wait to bite into it. Hope you give it a try. Enjoy.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel right here to see more nutrition, gardening, and cooking videos. New videos are posted each week. Give us a thumbs up and share this video if you enjoyed it. Be sure to click on the bell to never miss any of our fantastic videos. Enjoy!